What's up, Shadow?
Not you again.
Nice to see you too. Looks like those black creatures are headed out to space. We're on our way to the Ark, so I guess that means we're going too.
Ark.
Come on, let's roll. Next stop, the Ark.
Space colony. Ark. This place. So familiar. But why? This is where I... Maria? Died?
Oh yeah, bring it on! Looks like the party's getting started. Time to rock and roll! You up for this, Shadow?
This level seems to be kind of familiar to you guys, doesn't it? Well, for those of you who've ever played Sonic Adventure 2.
Shadow, don't you remember? We once raced each other here. This is just like old times. A race for the emerald.
So anyways, hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, of course. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Shadow the Hedgehog for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, and of course Xbox. So, last time we actually did manage to completely done with the previous level on the forms of the Stage 5 levels, and I believe that was actually from Air Fleet. So today for this episode is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the next Stage 5 level, and that is of course Space Gadget.
Destroy all defense systems.
There's an emerald somewhere aboard the Ark. There's an emerald somewhere aboard the Ark.
Huh? Oh. At first I thought that how the fact that in the hero mission might act out pretty differently, but it turns out that in Space Gadget is the fact that, although I'll explain more on that on the actual missions themselves later, is the fact that, well, as you can see, we're now going to be exploring through the Space Colony Ark ever since in Sonic Adventure 2. Well, to be more exactly, the Final Rush, and especially noticeable with Crazy Gadget, and especially noticeable with Final Chase especially as well. But, to me, this level kind of feels like a fun level because it's more likely a combination of both Crazy Gadget and especially Final Rush in Sonic Adventure 2. But the noticeable difference is obviously with gun gameplay aspects, and also you're going to be taking control of Shadow the whole entire time. So, yeah, that's as far as we can able to say about it here. In order to actually get to Space Gadget's level is the fact that you can either do you know, I would say by the forms of the hero mission on, you know, in the forms of Sky Troops, or you can able to do with, the normal mission in Mad Matrix, or you can do the dark mission in the Death Ruins. So, yeah, that's the only methods you can able to do for this particular stuff in order to actually get to this level in particular. So, yeah, not much else to really talk about this at this point, other than the fact with the missions themselves is that, well, I'm going to do something completely different this time around, because this might be the only time I'm actually going to be doing the hero mission first, and then after that, then we were able to move on to the hero mission after this, and then, as usual, the dark mission at the very end. Chaos Control! Yeah, anyway. So yeah, in the hero mission, as you can see, that Sonic is not actually wandering, you know, not following you this time around, because instead, it actually acts out like a race, almost. Well, naturally speaking, is the fact that the entire objective in the hero mission is basically exactly the same mission as the ones how it does it in the normal mission, but except the fact that the noticeable difference is that, as you can see, on right underneath the score count, we have a green time limit, which represents that you only have like 5 minutes until you're able to do this mission, because if you manage to reach over about 5 minutes or later, well, basically you're able to actually get yourselves the normal mission instead, which even then, I'll show this off until later on. But for now, let's go ahead and do a big drop down here and obtain the light blue Chaos Emerald again. and then once you've beat Sonic for under 5 minutes, then yeah.
Sonic. Now I remember. That day, we fought here aboard the Ark.
So yeah, they did manage to reference that ever since in Sonic Adventure 2 after all, because you know, Sonic and Shadow did manage to fight between each other in the forms of the Space Colony Ark after all, because of the, you know, the Eclipse Cannons section right there. So, now we need to do something completely different, because now we need to able to replay the level again, but this time around though, as to be expected, we have to do the normal mission. But again, you only have to wait until whenever you, like, reached up to, like, 5 minutes or more, just in case if you accidentally beat the level, like, in a quicker amount of time, you'll end up in a hero mission instead. So I do really like the actual idea that you can able to actually decide to able to waste your time on the level, or you can able to do the fastest method, and then you would able to go for a different stage 6 from the very bottom. So because of that, well, we'll mention more on that whenever we get to the stage 6 level. So but again, that we're actually going pretty breezily throughout in the majority of this Let's Play so far, especially because of how the fact that, well, it's a good thing I'm not going to be able to replay the game 10 freaking times in order to actually just to see the you know, just going through Westopolis 10 times in a row. So I was like, I think I'm getting over with, but even then, no, that's as far as I can try to say about this here. So, anywho though, yeah, as for the Dark Mission though, that again, I'll mention more now later, but, it seems for whatever reason, I'm just having a hard time trying to get that key up here, but either way though, because, well, again, I haven't really looked upon, key hunting in this particular game, because, well, I found the keys kind of optional, but at the same time, kind of worthless to me, because other than it just gives you, like, several goodies here and there, like, for instance, the item boxes and stuff like that, but I digress. So yeah, what I said about the forms of how the fact that this level is so similar to the likes of a combination of both, you know, this level is pretty much a combination of both Crazy Gadget, and especially noticeable with Final Rush, is that obviously it takes place in the Space Colony Arc theme as far as the actual level is concerned. But just like in Crazy Gadget's level from Sonic Adventure 2, that sometimes there's going to be some occasional gravity switches that you can actually activate, which allows you to able to go through like wall to wall, wall to ceiling, or something like that. So yeah, this could be potentially more likely somewhat similar fashion for how it does it in Crazy Gadget level, but except, well, you know, Chaos Control, here we go again, we're going fast, we're going super fast. I have no idea why I tried to say that. And anyway, so, what the? Okay, you're not gonna let me just go for that. Okay, thank you. Anyway, there's actually the insane amount of Chaos Control you can able to use. Well, only if you manage to land on that rail grinding right there. And yeah, just like in the forms of how it does it on, you know, in Final Rush in Sonic Adventure 2, that you can actually do some occasional rail grinding. So yeah, I do really like that particular way. So this is one of the only good levels of the game actually. Well, at least in my opinion though anyway, because even then, I'm pretty sure you might actually hear that music track from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on Egg Hanger, if I remember correctly, although I may be wrong, just because of how the fact that it's been quite a few days since I actually coming back into the forms of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing titles. So yeah, that's as far as I can usually just trying to think about this for the time. So now this might be sounds a little bit of a waste of time right there, because as you can see, that I've managed to able to get to the very end of the level for about 3 minutes or so. But if you manage to wait until, again, 5 minutes or more, then something will able to actually happen if you manage to reach for that certain time. So I guess there's not much else I can say about this video, honestly, guys, other than, well, at the moment, I'm afraid, actually, it's the fact that I'm actually feeling a little bit rough around the edges today. Not just by the forms of able to, like, you know, do some recording sessions and stuff like that, but it's mainly due to how the fact that I'm feeling a little bit more ill for this point today, mainly by the forms of a horrendous bad cough today. So, forgive me about the forms of how the fact that I'm feeling extremely rough around the edges though, but still. And as you can see, that I'm missing out that one key that is usually right up above that gold ring along with the blue chaos emerald, or to be more specifically the light blue chaos emerald. So, and yeah, if you manage to wait long enough, in addition with the forms of like letting Shadow stand completely still, not only does he able to actually decide to able to mess around with his hair, that means that how the fact that he also just managed to able to try to say the alternative dialogue, mainly by the forms of like how he's gonna be saying like, need to find the past, or in this case, I'll need to find the truth about my past, or anything else for that matter, because even then, that's as well a little bit of a mind of its own thing, but either way though, that's as far as we can consider this. So, anyways though, since we reached over about 4 minutes and 53 seconds left, and this is what happens if you manage to reach the timer up to 5 minutes or more. This happens.
Score 1 Chaos Emerald for the good guys. Sorry there, Shadow, old buddy.
So yeah, you failed the hero mission instantly, but instead, you go to the normal mission, so...
The Ark. Will I ever find the rest of my memories here?
So yeah, there's the one mind of its own thing, but either way though, you still have to wait for a long time before you proceed to the normal route.
It is about time you showed up, Shadow. The Ark's defense system is blocking our attack forces out. Destroy them, and we'll take the Ark.
So yeah, no matter what though, if you manage to let the hero mission fail, that despite the fact that you still get the Chaos Emerald, so naturally Sonic doesn't usually get the Chaos Emeralds, or more accurately, that he didn't win the race, but he doesn't obtain the Chaos Emeralds, only Shadow does. But that's a little bit of an error syndrome or something like that, but I digress. So, here we go folks, on to the Dark mission in Space Gadget, and basically what we need to do is the fact that we need to take down 6 of those Arc defense systems, which, naturally, the only good thing about these kinds of missions is the fact that Black Doom always points things out where the Arc defense system was actually located. So every time when he says, like, this particular line, that whenever he's trying to say, like, that is one of the defense systems, and destroy it, then that way you can able to actually destroy from here. So, yeah, there's a very cool hint right there, because even then, though, that he always know that's where the actual defense system was. So, I believe we might actually come across it again whenever we get to the next stage 5 level, which we'll find things out until tomorrow. But even then though, that for now, we have to concentrate on Space Gadgets for now. So, yeah, I actually really like this level. Sometimes, though, the only good thing for me, though, personally, is the fact that the normal mission, or the hero mission, I should say, is actually a lot of fun. Especially because you can able to utilize the Chaos Control to able to speed things up and what have you. So, and ultimately, since we're going to be doing the Dark mission in this level, since how the fact that we are actually going into a different route. So, naturally speaking, because we need to go down from there, so... Excuse me, I'm just eating chili dogs, sorry about that. So, you know, one that though right away is that sometimes the Dark mission itself can be very disorientating at times, because, well, obviously you have to go through each and every single room, especially because of how the fact that, well, you need to keep on doing that most of the time right there. And anyways, let's go and activate that switch to be able to continue proceeding. And, even though I don't have not that much trouble with, for the most part though, and by the way, do not activate that gravity switch right there, because obviously you'll get very disorientating, because even then, that, again, if you really want to find any of those, you know, Arc defense system, or in this case, the Arc defense system, well, one thing is probably, sorry, I can't really speak today for this point, folks. One thing I should probably point out right away is the fact that if you actually did manage to destroy one of those Arc defense systems, is the fact that most of these actual green shields, well, with the ones of the forms of the tiles or panels or whatever, sometimes they actually go disappear once in a while. So because of that, then you're potentially trying to able to move things on for that point. So, but again, whenever we get to the next level, specifically on the 4th, 5th stage level, which I might as well able to point things out into any second or two. But anyways, let's go ahead and... Oh, really? Ah. I will admit though right away is that any forms of the Dark mission, especially in the very beginning of the levels themselves, I will admit though right away is the fact that this level is very stingy when it comes to cheap enemy placement sometimes, because, well, it's because of how the fact that, again, if you get hit by certain enemies or bullet fires and stuff like that, obviously you have to deal with the knockback, which, as to be expected from old school days these days, well, I just really despise knockback in a huge passion, because, well, obviously, I believe it'll take you about, like, 5 meters away, so naturally speaking that you'll most likely die quite a few times, well, not as often as I thought it was going to be, because of the actual, like, you know, knockback and all that stuff, because even then, that's just not fair, because it feels like it exactly the same way for how it does it in other, old school games nowadays, is the fact that, well, let's just say Mario vs. Donkey Kong, for example. that if you get knocked by the forms of like the actual barrel or the rock or anything, naturally it retains the knockback feature, which I still found it very, very a little bit annoying right there, because even then though that, yeah, it just feels kind of unnecessary to me though. But nonetheless though, so... But again, you only have to, like, destroy only 6 of them, so even then though, you don't have to worry about, like, more than that. So, and sometimes I felt like the dark mission can take a really, really long time to complete them, because again, I mentioned this before, that this particular level with the dark mission can get very disorientating, but once you're able to figure this out, then you would be alright, if the fact that you need to able to constantly need to be using the gravity switch all the time in this level. So, well, at least to be more specifically on this particular mission itself. And also, we've actually stumbled across into those little gun turrets right there, which you can't really destroy them because they are incredibly invisible. So naturally though, that we need to able to completely ignore it. So, and I really don't think you can able to actually add up to your evil energy or anything like that. So it's just there for the sake of hazardness. So yeah, that's as far as I can say about it here. So anyways, now let's do a light speed dash here, even though that despite the fact that it doesn't take me anywhere. So anyways though, so I believe the next arc defense system is naturally down there, but the thing is, since we have to keep on using that actual gravity switch, this means we have to keep on traversing for the actual level. And sometimes the camera itself, I will admit the right way, the camera itself in this level is kind of finicky at times, especially because, as you can see, I fell down to the actual, like, toxic water, just like the ones that how he does it on, you know, in Prison Island, especially with, I would say the other level for, oh jeez, I can't remember what the actual level is called now, and it looks like I'm actually gonna go through, like, 5 minutes or more, because, well, we're gonna be spending most of our time trying to get the arc defense systems going on right there, so, yeah, it looks like Sonic did manage to make itself there, so naturally, hero mission automatically fails, so... But that's okay though, because we already just managed to do that, so, and plus there's no need to able to hear that dialogue again, because it's basically exactly the same dialogue as from, the ones first time I've ever played that, so... Anyways though, so that's about it obviously for Space Gadget. I actually really like this level, specifically for the hero mission and the normal mission, but I will admit the right way is the fact that the dark mission is okay, but... The only problem with that is the fact that it gets very disorientating so easily, especially if you really want to destroy every single of those arc defense systems. So, but naturally though, that's as far as we can able to consider this a fact. So, yeah, I guess that's about it obviously. So anyways, I don't think we can able to destroy that, no, because it's blocked. So, unless if we're able to get more gun ammo, so... But even then though, well, hopefully we can able to find that in here somewhere. Specifically... the gun crates that we can able to use without homing attack onto that little spring right there. So anyways, let's grab these gun ammo. And there's a key right there, but honestly I might as well pass it. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump from platform to platform, and my jump doesn't work. So I guess I should probably end things off here once I've destroyed the last arc defense system, which is behind here. So join me next time on Let's Play Shadow the Hedgehog. Is that we're about to be moving on to the next stage 5 level, which is known as... well, ironically, the Ark.
I won't let the Ark fall back into human hands.
So, yeah, we're going back to the Ark again, but this time with a different missions. So, see you guys next time. Later, fellas.